Hi and welcome to Why You Should Watch
Ant-Man. Paul Rudd plays a character called Scott Lang, who's the main protagonist in the movie. He is Ant-Man. Basically, he's able to turn from the size of a human being and shrink to the size of an ant. Paul Rudd is looking for a short redemption. He basically wants to turn, over a new leaf because he has a bit of a checkered past. He has a family at home, and he's kind of not with them anymore. And he's got a daughter that really looks up to him, and he really loves her, and he wants to show that he can be a good person.
He wants to prove himself.
Yeah.
But Michael Douglas is in the film, and he's the original Ant-Man, and he's looking for someone to take over for him. So that's where Paul Rudd comes into it with him. But Michael Douglas he's one of the original founders of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And Corey Stoll plays the main antagonist in this movie. He plays Darren Cross, who's like the bad guy in the whole film.
Yeah, and he's in a lot of good TV shows, so I had high hopes for him in this. He's in like Homeland, he's in
House of
Cards, but he's really good.
Yeah, he's really good. He really plays a really good bad guy, which is always great to see. Like, he just has that look in his eyes that just really helps to put it across.
And then, like any good film, you need a good supporting cast, and there is a good supporting cast in this film. As we said, there's Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, but then he's got sidekicks in it, and they are comical relief. T.I. T.I.'s been in a lot of movies, I've seen him, but he's very funny in this film.
Brilliant.
He's got that typical T.I.'s like,
he's just like laid back. There's Michael Pena.
Yeah.
Michael Pena, we know him from Shooter, and he's in Fury. Like, he is the best in the whole. He's so funny in this.
Everybody laughing in the cinema watching this film.
He's got so many good one-liners, and there's all these cut scenes, where he's telling stories.
He's telling a story, and it showed him. He'd be telling you a story about how he was talking to his friend in a museum or something, and when it goes back and shows the scene, his voice is perfectly in sync with them talking in the cinema, so it's very funny.
And he's got that Latino
accent.
This girl, right? Okay.
Yeah, and that's always funny to see in film. So that was quite funny. And on top of it, Paul Rudd obviously being funny.
Paul Rudd was the best part of this whole film. I thought that he had great charisma in this film, and he was really he had great jokes and great one-liners, and
it's great to see Paul Rudd. It's great to see him actually getting a movie like this because it's going to help his career. I'd imagine from this he's going to get into Avengers 3. He's going to get into Captain America, Civil War. So watch Paul Rudd, watch that space.
Ant-Man is actually technically an original Avenger because he's going to be in the next Infinity Wars. So in the original comic book movie, the comic books, he's actually he's there since the start. He's there since Tony Stark. He's there since Captain America. All the rest. And then Evangeline Lilly is in this movie as well, and she plays Hank Pym's daughter.
She's lost.
We know her as
she's gorgeous.
Hope Van Dien. She plays. She sort of trains Scott Lang. She trains him how to fight and how to use the suit properly, because it's this cool little device where he's able to communicate with the ants. He's got this kind of earpiece, and he's able to tell them what to do.
And there's a lot of comedy with them as well. Like there's scenes where he thinks he's a hard ass because he's done certain things in his past life, and he's talking to her, and she's like, "Prove yourself." He's just basically making a complete fool of himself doing it.
And the CGI in this is absolutely amazing as well. I mean, they use a lot of anti-age CGI. You'll see that when we're talking about, and then there's a lot of when he has to shrink and go big and shrink, and he has to do this at the flick of a button. Because that's the whole point of it. Because when Ant-Man shrinks, his strength increases 10 times because he's the strength of an ant. So he's able to punch and kick and everything.
Ant-Man is just, in general, a heist movie. They are out to steal something. Paul Rudd is out with his mates to steal something.
But there's some brilliant scenes in it where Scott Lang, he's like sort of like a master cat burglar. He knows everything about how to break into all these really old safes to the most modern technology, breaking codes and alarms and everything like that. And there's some brilliant scenes.
He could have played Spider-Man, just say that.
He could, yeah.
He could have been Spider-Man from one thing he does.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
And it's great to see, and he basically does all the hard groundwork and everything. But Paul Rudd put in a lot of effort and work into his physical abilities and his physique, because he was in the gym for months and months before, because he wanted to look like the right person for the job.
Yeah, there's a scene where every good film they have to show off.
He's there
there's not, he gets injured on his ribs. You don't even have to show it. He's just like.
Yeah, exactly. Every Marvel superhero has to have that.
Has to have it. Yeah.
You see Captain America wearing this shirt that's like 10 times too tight for him.
Yeah.
Like he bought it in Baby Gap or something. He's just like.
You'll never see Thanos going this.
No.
Well, Ant-Man, it is a nice addition to the Marvel Universe, we said, and there is some parts in the film that tie it in well with other movies. Like they do touch on a character from another movie without telling you anything to tie it in well. It's going to link it up well with the next Captain America movie. But it's a breath of fresh air when you see these films completely take the mick like the way they are.
That's it, because they have a new director. Peyton Reed was the director in this, and we know him from doing Yes Man, and he did a few episodes of New Girl, so there's a lot of comedy that's thrown in there. Plus Paul Rudd comes from a comedy background. Anchorman 2, Forgetting Sarah Marshall,
40-Year-Old Virgin.
He's
hilarious.
He's in all those Judd Apatow movies, and every one of them is just brilliant, mainly because of Paul Rudd, and he's just so funny in this.
So likeable. Yeah, like, his face is so likeable. So like, he's the second character from Parks and Recreation to get his own standalone Marvel movie after Chris Pratt with Guardians of the Galaxy. 10% trivia.
So I don't know if any of you know, but Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man, was the creator of Ultron. He created Ultron because he needed an assistant in his lab because he's a scientist and he needed to come up with new formulas. Hank Pym was the original Ant-Man. He's able to turn into Goliath and Giant Man, and he also becomes Yellow Jacket.
So Yellow Jacket, who is the antagonist in the movie, he has like a suit, and the laser sounds from that are actually the same laser sounds as the laser sounds from Star Wars. Yeah, the exact same iconic noises you hear in your head. So when you get a little bit of nostalgia when you hear that, because Disney owns the rights to Marvel and Star Wars now, so they must have just done that.
Exactly,
for the fans.
yeah. So they were able to get the rights, you know, to use those sound effects.
So do we think you should watch Ant-Man?
Definitely.
Definitely, yeah. So we're going to be working on a video anyway in the next few days.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the new one.
But if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comment section below.
So yeah, stay tuned, please subscribe. Thanks very much for watching.
Thanks very much. See you soon.
Take it easy.
Bye.